Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Weekly Review. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me by my side, as always, is the one, the only RWT Deadman himself, Mr. Paul Morales. How are you, Paul?
I am good, Mr. Michael Larkin. How are you, sir?
I am good. We are recording this on Monday this week, folks. WWE Raw has just ended, and a very eventful King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring matchups tonight. Gunther and Sheamus, go out of your way and watch it. Go out of your way and watch Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet. Go out of your way to watch everything that was on Monday Night Raw tonight because it was a great follow-up to this weekend's Backlash.
Yes, it was, man. They put on a... There were some bangers, as Sheamus said.
After banger.
After banger, after banger, after burger, after burger, after burger, after burger. And of course, we got CM Punk in a promo. That's all we need.
Awesome. And there was a subtle shot tonight because Punk was talking about the choke artists. And he goes, Pat, I'm not talking about me being a choke artist. And Pat McAfee yelled out guillotine. And I about died of laughter when he said that, which is in reference to, of course, the Jungle Boy footage that was aired on AEW. That is how you take a shot, Tony. That is how you take a shot, a subtle shot, Mr. Tony Khan.
He waited for it. He did it.
And he did. But
he did a good job. I like that one. That was bang, bang.
Bang, bang. And I mean,
pew, pew, motherfucker. Like that.
And we did get to see, I will say this, Asuka unfortunately was injured, so we got Lyra Valkyria beating Dakota Kai. Drew unfortunately was not cleared, so we did get a banger with Jey Uso and Finn Balor.
But we did get an appearance by Drew McIntyre.
We did, yes. And I thought that was great how he left and then CM Punk just came right up. So
I like that. I like that continuous camera shot. I love that. That's something new, but something great. I mean, for the show.
Did you like that Carlito is insisting the help now of the Judgment Day against the LWO? We can see some 6-man action there and have some fun with that.
Yeah. Getting things mixed up there, of course. You know, Damian Priest was all like, you know what, you know who you were with over last year's Backlash? You were with Bad Bunny. You helped him out against me. So
there's a lot
friction.
There's a lot that's going into it, and I think we're going to eventually get that Damian Priest face turn, which I'm really looking forward to. But also at the same time, too, man, like I like how we're heating up with Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, and Bronson Reed, and Becky and Liv. Like you've got me hyped for King and Queen of the Ring at the end of the month.
Yeah, you got me hyped for that Saudi show, even though I don't necessarily agree with it. You got me hyped for it. That's all that matters.
Same here. And what a lot of us were hyped for was, we'll go backwards to Backlash. Dude, that French crowd, the people in Lyon, France, kudos, because y'all were into it from start to finish.
Woo! They were fire. They were all on fire. From KO coming out to Randy Orton singing his song. Jey Uso coming out in the crowd, fireflies. I mean, that was just like The Rock does, how he says, like how he goes like this, how he feels the goosebumps. Man, my daughter and I, we were just like, you felt it. You felt that crowd. That energy was on another level. And if you watch SmackDown on Friday, they actually got a warning on someone's watch, a warning of the loud noises that were actually coming out of there, and people were hearing it around the area. Man, and AJ, Cody Rhodes, that crowd for AJ Styles, phenomenal. La 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 la. You know, that was just hats off to the freaking French, to the Lyon crowd, the French crowd there, man. They just hyped throughout the whole show. And fuck Disco Inferno and his damn critique of it.
So for those that didn't see, Disco Inferno, Vince Russo.
Ain't nobody follow him.
Disco Inferno, Vince Russo, and all these people that were like, oh, the crowd is too annoying. The crowd is so loud. Like, bro, they don't get this like we do. They don't get this like we do. Like, let them be enthused. This is how it is at the soccer games. This is how it is with the international crowd and market. Like, come on now.
Yeah, international crowds just seem to hit differently. I mean, I get it. We're spoiled. Vince has spoiled us for years, you know, to where we don't have, they go overseas, they have live events over there. That's fine. Sorry, my phone. They got live events going on over there, but Come on, man. That's just bad. It's just bad when you get somebody that critiques it like that, and that should hype you up. That should be something that would hype up anybody. You get that, you feel that energy from a crowd. Football game, basketball game, baseball game, playoff. If you've ever been to a playoff game, that atmosphere is completely different from regular season. Regular season is just okay, yeah, okay, pass the ball, shoot the ball, hit the ball, throw the pass. It's different. It's different. I've gone to a Rams playoff game. I've gone to a Lakers playoff game. I've gone to a Clippers playoff game. Hell, I've gone to a Dodgers playoff game. I went to the Angels playoff when they were in 2002, shortly before they got into the World Series. Man, I'm telling you, that energy in those type of arenas is completely different. And that was outdoors. This was indoors, and oh my God, that another level. I can't talk about it enough. Let's keep going.
All right. Well, fair enough, because Backlash was this Saturday, and I will say this. The Kevin Owens and Randy Orton match we'll talk about first against the Bloodline. The insane spots of going through the table, fighting in the crowd. Kevin Owens giving Tanga that spinning fisherman buster onto chairs, and we think they're going to get the win. But who makes their return to WWE? The former Camacho himself, the brother of Tanga Loa, Gorillas of Destiny, God in the house, and the Bloodline gets the win after the Samoan spike. I was thinking Jacob Fatu, but I am happy that we got Tanga Loa.
And you know what? Nobody actually said anything. I hadn't heard no buzz, nothing about his contract coming up, about it, anything, nothing. But the fact that he showed up and he pulled him out, and all of a sudden you just see him, and right away Pat McAfee Corey Graves called him. He said, "That's Tanga Loa. That's
Tama Tonga's brother."
Tama Tonga's brother." And he was like, everybody was just like, "Who the hell is that?" But coincidentally, that actually international crowd actually knew who he was. Mm-hmm.
Crazy. And what I like about it too as well is it's like right now we have Tama, we have the Girls of Destiny, we got Solo. A lot of people want to see the God against the Usos, which signed me up for that. There's so many different possibilities we could get with this, and I'm for it. Also, Paul Heyman being reluctant with throwing up the ones. I thought they did a great job of really telling that story of what's next in the bloodline trajectory of where they're going to go with that storyline. Like, it was already starting hot there, but then we got the three-way with Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton, which Tiffany Stratton is a motherfucking star. All these women, like, they loved us. Hey, we want some Bayley, and I want to know if you'll be my girl. The international crowds love Bayley. They love Naomi. They love Tiffany. They were hyped for this whole thing, and Bayley pinned Naomi after just a nice little reversal, and they hugged, but it opens up more doors now for Bayley and Tiffany Stratton because that's not done with. So I really liked how they really put out the women there because those three really killed each other. It's a very underrated triple threat match.
I think the fact that Naomi took the pin, mm-hmm, and they hugged it out afterwards, it was good. It saved Tiffany as not being the one who took the pinfall, so it saves her from later on down the road. I would like to see Bayley at least hold on to it at least until SummerSlam, maybe, mm-hmm, give or take. I'm still kind of iffy as to who I want to win Money in the Bank for the women. I'm still kind of out there. Chelsea's still my choice because I think in hindsight, even if it's just a short, brief couple of month run with her, it's something because she still has that energy. She still has that the crowd behind her. So she's still over with a lot of people.
I think when you look at someone like Chelsea Green, and I've said this, her character work and her character development, it's one of those things where it's just like, man, from the comedic side of things, she has it. From the wrestling side of things, she has it. Her and Piper Niven are a dominant tag team now doing their thing on SmackDown. I think having her as Money in the Bank really elevates and puts the upper echelon within that character. And I just have this feeling like you see Chelsea, you see Tiffany. A lot of these women are possibly, I mean, we did some more Queen of the Ring stuff tonight with Zoe Stark beating Ivy Nile, Lyra beating Dakota Kai. there's so many things that they could do from the women's tournament, from Money in the Bank, like you mentioned. Like the possibilities are endless. And I think for who we've really called up, like a Tiffany Stratton, who is just a star on the rise, like I'm with you. Have Bailey go to SummerSlam. Let's see who wins Money in the Bank. But the trajectory of where they're going is really on the upscale and on the up and up, so to speak. So I'm really for Chelsea, even if she does get it. Because first of all, Chelsea Green, I am all for that. And we go.
Yeah, and then we were talking about that being Samantha. I also heard that Alicia, can't remember her last name.
Oh, Taylor.
She's Aisha Taylor. She's actually moving up from NXT to the main roster, and Mike Rowe is going down to NXT. So we're gonna get that black girl love up on the main roster. And oh my God, these two are. She's a metalhead, and that's why I love her. I love her so much. She's such a metalhead. I would like to see her kind of continue on with that whole Chelsea Green, as she's on SmackDown, and that's where she's going to end up being at.
I'm putting up the photo side by side because these are two beautiful ladies here. And I've always said this about Alicia Taylor. I love her hair, besides the fact that she's a metalhead, like it fits her so perfectly. So she's going to become a ring announcer on the main roster imminently. And again, the history here of two African-American ring announce team going forward for the first time, which is really great to see. And I'm going to say right now, Mike Rome on NXT, I am cool with that. I think he's going to do wonders on NXT.
And that's why this whole transition of bringing her up and moving Mike Rowe down, I think it gives Mike a different aspect, for how he's announcing too. And that's good because now you bring a well-known voice that's announcing from the main roster down to NXT. Those shows are going to be just as hype as they would be as if they were the main roster. Nothing against Aisha, because I think she's Alicia. I mean, I think she's awesome. So same name as my daughter. By the way, happy birthday, Allie. I love you. We'll go celebrate later. Oh wait, we already did. It's already 8 o'clock. Sorry, my bad. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And give my love to your daughter and the fam. But god dang it, man. Like, that's awesome. And I mean, we have everything from that representation. And who was really represented was yeet. Friggin' that French crowd was going up and down, yeeting their heads off. Jey Uso and Damian Priest. Again, another great match. Before this, we saw the stare down of Tanga Tonga, Solo looking at Jay, and then Paul is just like, Jay, don't do it.
He said
no.
Jay's just like he didn't know exactly how to react. I mean, come on, man. That's fam. That's your blood. I mean, literally, Haku's kids are literally, and we'll go back to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Guess who was in the front row? Haku. So, it kind of plays into that bloodline, family thing. I'm here for it. Jey Uso and went out there. That crowd was again back to the energy that they brought in, and they were just boom, boom, boom. Dude, that camera was bouncing same way with AJ.
That's the thing too. You're hyped. You love your favorite superstars, and this matchup did not disappoint. The really big part about it was JD got involved, Finn got involved. Damian Priest did not want the interference. Jay almost won a couple times. JD put the foot on the rope after the Uso splash, and it ended with Jay getting the South of Heaven off the ropes. 1, 2, 3. Then the beatdown continued afterwards, and Damian's like, "No, we're not going to do this. I want to do this my way. I want to do it by myself." And then you saw Finn kind of staring at him after they celebrated at the end. So my gut feeling is we are going to get Damian Priest and Finn Balor at SummerSlam for that championship, and the trajectory of Finn for where he won his first Universal Championship at SummerSlam. So there's a lot writing into that and how you can tell that story. But I definitely see towards the summer we're going to get Finn versus Damian.
I'm trying to figure out, this is back to who's going to win what briefcase. Mm-hmm. I think in this particular thing, if it's going to be somebody who's going to take it off of Damian or who's going to take it off of Cody, there has to be someone who's going to bring that story. Damian held it. He went out there a few times, throughout. I mean, granted, this was Vince still, the tail end of Vince is still being there, and I get the whole false cash-ins and whatnot, but I think the reward at WrestleMania for Damian was top notch. Drew winning, you know, him and CM Punk continuing what they were doing, and then of course Damian coming out, cashing it in. Boom, 1, 2, 3, El Señor, Money in the Bank, is now El Campeón. I
Mhm.
would just like to see that kind of continue to keep playing on. Whoever wins it has to have some sort of, and there is a face turn, if there is a face turn for Damian, I would like whoever is going to take it, just somebody that actually has some substance. Same thing with Cody, because I think Cody's at least going to keep it for at least a year.
I concur with that. I think you need to have long term with the booking for both of them, and I'm here for it. I think Damian Priest not only has worked his butt off, but the chemistry he has with Jey Uso was just amazing to see, and it was really one of the highlights of the night. And one of the highlights for Jade Cargill's career is her and Bianca Belair would go on to beat the Kabuki Warriors for the tag team championships. Congrats to both of those ladies.
That was a fire match.
Oh,
I have
dude,
to admit, one thing.
good.
Jade Cargill actually showed me something, and her grabbing
Kyrie.
Kyrie and out of the air, turning her around, spinning her around, then all of a sudden there was that boom, that slam on her face, and it was like, it was so simple, and she just literally held her. And funny thing is that, talking about Jade, Bully Ray actually thinks that she kind of acts a little heelish at times,
Mhm.
but the fact that she kind of has that energy to her, pairing her with Bianca can kind of tone her back to kind of looking at how she is to how she could be, because Bianca is of course that phase. So if she kind of tones it back, kind of reinvents herself, or kind of turns herself into that face, it'll be so much better for her in the long run. Unless, and I say this, unless they actually lose the belts, and then we get that heel turn from Jade onto Bianca. But I would like to see this have some substance. I would like to see this have some longevity. What they didn't do for Naomi and Mercedes, well, of course,
Mhm.
Sasha Banks, what they didn't do for her then, this could be their redo. And this is something that Triple H wanted to do, but of course, we know why it didn't happen.
Right, and I think Jade showing off her high octane aerial assault, the springboard crossbody, like the power moves, like you mentioned, that transition into Jaded. For those that didn't see, it was absolutely amazing. And then the KOD for the win, for Asuka onto Kyrie, and I think those two had some synergy and chemistry. They did that spot with the kick, and then it turned into like a wheelbarrow suplex on Jade Cargill's part,
Yeah,
and the freaking kip up. I think Bianca's going to help her along, and she's going to learn a lot from Bianca. I think this is where we're at. Does she still need some more seasoning? Yes, but I think she's going to get it. And I think, like Bully Ray said, a fair assessment. Like, she acts heelish, but she has so much energy into her presence and her overall presentation that I think it falls through, and it shows and kind of shines and glimmers to what we have with the presentation that is the Storm, that is Jade Cargill. So I'm very happy that they won the tag team championships, and I'm very happy for the first time ever that we got Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, because not only did we mention the crowd for both, but the purple was a nod to the old AJ Styles Dusty Rhodes match from early TNA, NWA TNA, when they had their match, which I thought was very cool. Um, these two had a banger, man. The burning hammer, like that AJ Styles did, and Cody hulks up at one. The Cody cutter at the end, and the Stardust thing was very cool as well. Like, they did
because
a lot.
that was the night before. That was the night before when AJ referenced it, and he was like, "Okay, okay, I see you, I see you." So the next night, did the cartwheel, and
Boom. I
boom.
I love it because it makes me laugh. I like the fact that they did the too sweet and AJ slapped him. Like, everything that went into this was really good. Like, they both carried each other. They worked well. The synergy was there. The Cody cutter into the crossroads for Cody Rhodes to win in his first title match. Run it back. Do whatever you need to do. But I think this was a great way to cap off an amazing night for the people in the Leon, France, and for us here in the States. We got a great afternoon of professional wrestling.
It was beautiful, and I thought it was, for 5 matches, 3 hours, dude. They went over and above what I think for 5 matches. It was almost like NXT.
It was like a
It was
takeover.
almost like a takeover, and that was just what we needed. That's why it's okay. So if you do the side by side at any point in time, we could look at the card from last year and the card from this year. Now that Puerto Rico crowd, oh my God, that energy was
Right?
next level. That was next level. We're not even talking about Bad Bunny coming out. Zelina, Zelina Vega. Oh my God, that woman crying in the ring, dude. That energy from that crowd was, and that was outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
mind you. That was outdoors, and that was loud. This one indoors, I mean, equally, if not just a hair better, but still, that international energy from the crowds, man, was next level. And I love this. This match was that match was amazing between Cody and AJ. I know a lot of people weren't really kind of feeling it, but dude,
Yeah.
it it's at least there was a story there and not just something that you put together in a week.
So
Tony,
I will add to it again. So I know we're very critical of it, but I always say quality over quantity and not just 15 matches of, hey, let's just have a match. This was 5 matches of storytelling and synergy, and everything fit, and the puzzle pieces went together. Everything fit for what they were trying to accomplish. And I mean, everybody talks about Tony Khan's media scrums, but there's a little something that happened at the press conference after Backlash. So Triple H is out there. He's doing the things, live attendance, the gate, this and that. He has his info. He's taking the questions. Let's go to France, let's get a stadium show. But then someone at the end, before the Kentucky Derby announcement that WrestleMania will be going to Las Vegas next year, the guy asks, yes, the guy, I know, is RWT.
guess who's fucking going?
You're going, bro. RWT in the house, baby. Oh my
That's
goodness.
right. That's right. RWT in the house. The dead man going. I'm taking, dude. My. I already told my mom. My mom lives in Vegas. I already told her. She's like, "You're staying here. You're bringing everybody, and we're going. They're going, or you guys are going." I'm like, as soon as those pre-sales are on, shoot, we're already there. I already signed up and everything, so I'm
Hell yeah.
going. I missed LA, but shoot, I ain't missing 41. Hell to the no.
Well, have fun with that, sir. And again, I can't wait to see where you're going to be sitting in the live reactions that you're going to have from WrestleMania. But
Don't worry. I'll vlog it. Don't worry. I
all right,
got you. I
okay, all
got
right.
you. I
But
got you.
vlogging aside, we did have sort of a reaction, if you will, as Triple H was asked the question about, and we're going to get to him in a moment here, folks, Drew Gulak and the release. And they were like, did it have to do with the Ronda Rousey thing, with the sexual conduct or whatever, how he worded it? And, it was reported by Fightful and PW Insider. And Triple H is like, well, you could trust them because they're credible sources and credible sites. And this led to a whole PW Insider was very mature. It's like, you know what? Paul can think what he says, but, that's not going to make me stop from liking the product or giving him credit for what he's doing. And then Sean Ross Sapp went out like a little biatch, and he got all offended and was like, well, and, he was just bitching. So it was a different side of the coin of PW Insider was very professional about the response. Sean Ross Sapp went, so does that surprise you?
And I saw what Kate said. I saw what Denise said. I saw what SRS said.
Yep.
I saw a lot of what the people from Fightful actually posted. And now, mind you, this isn't like Dave kind of taking the critique of a lot of people. This isn't like Brian Alvarez taking the critique from a lot of people. I get it. In the moment, I have to say it was kind of a bait question.
Right.
In all reality, it was a bait question. And now what happened is that he wasn't released. They didn't renew his contract.
Right.
That we'll go first with that. With all the releases that came up, again, we will go back. We will just touch on that shortly after this. But that was the thing that kind of rubbed people the wrong, at least the people in Fightful, because I know how hard Sean works. Denise has said it several times. Kate has said it several times. All the people at Fightful on their podcast have all said the same thing. Grapsody, even before they all, well, Lindsay and Reggie are still there, but I'm saying is like it's different because you're coming after their credible sources who they get information from. So I completely get it. These are the people that work in your company who told them who gave them the information. So don't try and throw shade at people, because they come to your company asking you, the people that you work with, specific questions and want to know the answers, and then they get the answers, and then you call them what he called them, and it's like it rubs people the wrong way. I get PW Insider kind of took the high road and said, you know what, and I would have been okay with if SRS would have just said, you know what, I'm not going to even acknowledge it. I'm not even going to worry about it. Yeah, he said it. Okay, but we're still going to continue to keep doing what we're doing. I just think that Triple H said what he said, and just be done with it. Plain and simple.
I think
If he would have came over here and said, Michael Larkin, fuck that puto, and and he would have started calling you. If he would start calling you names, I would have been like, you know what, Paul? This Paul's gonna got to come after you.
well,
WrestleMania 41. That's right. I'm talking about.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for having my back, as I would have yours. But, dude, fucking, here's my thing with that. It's like, from where I look at his stance, I think it was just, okay, we're having a good night. We're talking about France. Everybody's excited. And then this, I'm going to use your language here, this puto over here, it's like, all right, you want to ask about this? And Triple H was, I think he was very agitated and annoyed by the question, is from what I can gather from that. I don't think it was with any malice, but I think he was just very like, all right, we're really going to ask this question now. Like, I open it up for one more question, and this is the question.
I think, okay, now listen to the question.
Okay.
Had he just specifically said, according to them,
yes.
Had he just said Fightful and PW Insider, had they said that Drew Gulak was released, what are your comments on that? Not adding the Ronda Rousey stuff, not adding all the other stuff that he mentioned. Had he just said, we want to clarify if he was released or they didn't renew his contract, Triple H probably would have given him a different answer. But since he mentioned Ronda Rousey and he went into a little bit more detail about the allegations and stuff like that, I think that's what triggered Triple H to say what he said. Honestly, that's just being honest. I think that's what triggered him.
Agreed. And I think with how it is, it's what it was. And, we're going to see what happens going forward. I mean, look at the media calls that they've done. Mike Johnson has been on the call. He was at the WrestleMania Skybox, but let's see where it goes. I mean, these are people that have been involved. Sean Ross Sapp has been on at the press conferences. So let's see where this goes continued forward and to see where
Kate has Queen of the Ring, Alex. Denise. You look at all the people that I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
In my rant about the women that are objectified on social media, all those women were actually the WrestleMania weekend. Was it WrestleMania weekend? WrestleMania weekend. They were all there, and they all got to say their questions and whatnot. So this is good, but I mean, we're gonna just give it time. Just give it time. Is what I'm saying.
And the time,
let it blow over. In other words, let it blow over.
I feel you. And the time has come because there's a lot that happened in the news this week. We'll touch upon the releases too as well. And I think the best way to start this off would be with the releases that we talked about with Drew Gulak and everything that really went into a lot of the releases that we saw. So we'll start with it here.
One that shocked me really. I mean, forget Drew Gulak. It was Gable Steveson.
Gable Steveson, yes. So the ones who were released were Valentina Varas. We have Vlad Pavlenko, who was a part of the recruitment class. Daryl Mason, Debo, who was another one. We had Kaya Saint, who was a part of Level Up. Emma Diaz, who is in the Next Gen series on Roku and is the girlfriend of the one and only Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr., Julian Baldi, who was a Next Gen recruit, Valentina Varas, who we saw teaming with the other girl, who I cannot remember her name, but she was on NXT for a little bit, the two girls there. She was the Brazilian one. Keishawn LaFleur, who was a part of Next Gen. Trey
She was
Bearhill.
with Sol Roca, wasn't she?
Who, Valentina Varas?
Yeah, wasn't she?
No, hold on. I'm going to look her up now just because, like, that name, that's going to bug me now as I was putting it up there. So Valentina Varas was with. I got to
I couldn't
remember.
remember her name, but I thought it was Sol Roca. But maybe
No,
like I said, it could be wrong.
she was in a tag team, and that girl got released too. Oh, what's her face? Ulissa Leon.
That's okay. Yeah, that one. That one.
So you have Keyshawn LaFleur, I mentioned, Trey Bearhill, who was in Level Up, and he was in that breakout tournament, the big dude.
Yeah.
Gable Steveson, like Paul just mentioned, and yeah, that and Drew Gulak, of course. But like I said, the big ones coming out of that were Drew Gulak and Gable Steveson, which, let's be honest with you, after that Baron Corbin match, Gable Steveson was going down, 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 and down, down.
I just think that they weren't gonna. It was he wasn't transitioning like Kurt Angle.
No.
He wasn't doing that whole that like that, And as much as Jason Jordan had actually tried to help him too, and Tyson Kidd had actually taken him into the dungeon also. So there were videos of that I had seen shortly after he was released. Um, that was kind of surprising, but not so surprising. I think had they done this like before, because we have the Olympics later on this year. Speaking of France, it's in France, it's in Paris. Had they given him at least maybe a couple of months, he might have actually made the wrestling team for Team USA. So the fact that he's not going to be able to do that, what is he going to do after this? Do you train? Do you play do you wrestle as an alternate? Hopefully, getting onto the alternate team. I don't know. This is just kind of like up in the air. We still have another 2-3 months before we get to Paris. So I don't know. I just think Gable Steveson is just the one that is kind of like hmm. Things that make you go
Things that make you go and I will say this: things that make you go So more about the Drew Gulak situation, and I saw this, and I thank you for sending this to me. So this is a follow-up off NXT Talent's claim that Drew Gulak purposely targeted real injuries during matches and called him a bully. There was more stories that came out that Shawn Michaels verbally reprimanded Drew for his behavior as well, and there have been some shots and footage online of him doing a lot of his moves where he dropped a couple people on their heads, which very old school, but I also look at it like this. It's like, you can't be doing that now. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like dropping people on their heads and focusing like that. That's just, number one, it's wrong. Number two, it's unsafe. And number three, it's uncalled for. And then you brought this up to me, which Cody Rhodes said this many, many years ago, about 7 years ago, on Busted Open, because I know how much of a big Busted Open guy you are, Mr. Palmerello, as we talk about it all the time. Cody Rhodes said this about Drew Gulak, and here we go. There's a wrestler by the name of Drew Gulak, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you I think he sucks. He does a grizzled old vet, like not pulling any punches, is Cody Rhodes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
He does a grizzled old vet routine. He hasn't done anything or made any money anywhere, and he shouldn't be doing that routine. He looked at me from his table and frustrated and jealous because there were people in line at my table. Hell, they might have been in line just for the pizza, says to me, so that's what you need to get over. And he walks away in a total huff and temper tantrum. Since that guy is on my list. Since then, that guy is on my list, 100%. I will regularly text Ethan Page just to tell him how much I think Drew Gulak sucks.
Oh man.
So
hey, you know what? Hey, speaking of Ethan Page, everybody thought that he was actually because he got eliminated or got taken off of the roster at AEW. I just think that was funny that he actually mentioned him.
Yeah.
And we don't really know. Speaking of Ethan Page, we don't really know what his status is as far as going forward. He hasn't really said anything. He did post a video of him promoting his action figure for forgot what it was for, but anyways, he posted him being the number one rated selling action figure or wrestling figure for last week, and he wanted to do it again this week. So hopefully you get that this week, man.
Yeah, so as of right now, we know Ethan Page was looking to finish up with AEW and ROH a few months ago. We're told within the company was that happened. So for me, I look at it like this. So Drew Gulak, first of all, I will say this: the fact that what happened with him, the Ronda Rousey stuff, the bully stuff, Drew Gulak had to go, so to speak. So Drew Gulak is on his way out. He is released. They didn't renew his contract. What happened? We mentioned the story just there. I think it's very funny what Cody said years ago because I kind of manifest into what happened with his release and departure. But Ethan Page, if he is truly done with AEW, which looks to be the case, put him back in TNA. Josh Alexander's there. Hello, the North.
Yeah, that would be a great place for him to run to, or to go to. So that, I mean, it's it's good for him in that aspect, that he has options. In other words, AEW is not his only option. So wherever he goes, you know, best of luck to Ethan Page. I kind of hope he would end up in NXT, but we don't really
I'm
know.
right there with you.
But yeah, I think TNA is actually bolstering their roster. So go there if the money's right. Hey, go there.
I'm right there with you, whether it's NXT or TNA. And like Matt Hardy just is doing his thing in TNA. Like, there's such an underrated, vibe and stigma with TNA because everybody's just WWE and AEW. But I'm like, TNA, again, we touch upon it many a times on this show. It's like, don't fucking sleep on them. Like, they've been fucking killing it. And I really am excited to see where their trajectory goes. And speaking of trajectory, we mentioned Gulak and the fuckery and the bitch assness. We have mentioned many of people that had to do with the bitch assness and the fuckery. And yes, I'm using those terms. Ronda
No,
Rousey.
you're not.
Ronda Rousey was a part of that Drew Gulak thing, and you send this to me because that boy Jimmy Smith did not hold back. And well, to quote Wood Warrior Hawk, I've never been a religious person, right? One of the things I've always said about God, he gets all the credit, none of the blame. That's what Ronda Rousey wants. All the credit, none of the blame. I want credit for all my wins, my losses. I had CTE and all this and all that. I'm the greatest to ever do it. But when it didn't work, it was so-and-so and so-and-so and never me. She never gives credit to the people who actually beat her. The idea that I left MMA and went to the WWE because I had concussion problems makes no sense. If you hadn't noticed, I don't talk about things out of school. I don't talk about things out of school, do I? Behind the scenes in WWE, behind the scenes in UFC. I don't do that, right? Kind of a personal rule. Let me let you in on something, Rhonda, if you are listening. The people behind the scenes, camera people, audio people, the people you can push around and the people you can bully and the people you can talk down to can't stand your fucking ass. Everybody behind the scenes that had to put a mic on Ronda Rousey couldn't stand her. I asked why, and they said that she was a bitch to us from the moment that she sat down to the moment she got up, like it's our fault. She has to do this interview to hype this fight or whatever. She's miserable and she's mean to us and we can't stand her. They were cheering when she got knocked out. That's what I was told. Well, Jimmy Smith, you just said what Adam Pearce felt, and like I got to think that Adam Pearce thing was a shoot now. And then you see like everything that people have said about Ronda. It's like, Ronda, they don't want you. Like Bill Goldberg, they don't want you, and they put you out the door. That's it.
Okay, so here's what's interesting: is Holly Holmes whooped her ass.
Oh, she absolutely did.
She mollywopped her. Mollywopped her. Yeah, I actually use that word every once in a while. Anyways, my thing is like, dude, if you can't give credit to where credit is due, then you shouldn't be involved with anything. Anything. At least your husband gave credit to the guys who whooped his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you're so fucking conceited and so into yourself that you just can't see what's right there in front of you? Like, give credit where credit is due. These women that you lost to really did a number on you, and whether it's CTE or whatever, or whether you're just butthurt after everything, man, come on, Ronda, just stop it.
Shut the fuck up, Ronda.
Stop.
Like friggin' Sammy Sweetheart on the Jersey Shore. Stop. But yeah, that's a lot of what's going on with Ronda. And like I said, it's a crazy week and we're putting a lot into this. But God, as we always do, but God dang it, man. Vinnie Mac is back. So
well, not in WWE.
Not in WWE.
No. Clarify.
Thank you, Paul. To clarify, not back in WWE, but he's back in the news. So, this is from Wrestle Talk. We've now received the following statement from Vince McMahon's legal team. In January 2024, Miss Grant, a 43-year-old with a law degree who was in love with Mr. McMahon and devastated by their breakup, filed an outrageous and false lawsuit to ruin Mr. McMahon's career and reputation. Now her false allegations are slowly unraveling. Today, Mr. Laurinaitis' attorney confirmed his client will collaborate Mr. McMahon's account and expose the lies within the complaint. Despite their intense efforts, Miss Grant's attorneys won't be able to suppress the truth from coming out. And as it sees over here, John Laurinaitis has filed a motion today, fully joining in and adopting Vince McMahon's motion to compel arbitration. Mr. Laurinaitis corroborates Mr. McMahon in publicly declaring that Ms. Grant's allegations of sexual abuse and coercion in her complaint are completely unfounded. My client will fight these false allegations together with Mr. McMahon in the proper form, arbitration. So, your thoughts on this now? Johnny Ace has made the turn. He made the swerve. He made the turn. He made everything.
He's just trying to continue to keep kissing Vince's ass. It's like it does. First you turn on him.
Yep.
Now you're gonna come back and be like, oh well, yeah, he's right. He's completely right. Vinnie Mac. Whenever you do something else, can you please bring me along? You might as well tattoo freaking Johnny Ace's lips to freaking Vince's ass. I mean, that's where you're at. Literally where you're at.
That's literally.
I mean, it makes no sense. Honestly, does it make sense?
No, Johnny, you want to help me out now, pal? You know she's wrong. Okay, Vince, I'll help you.
Okay, Vince, okay. I will do whatever you want.
I will do what you want, Vince.
Because I'm a dumbass, so I'll just do whatever you want.
Oh God, as soon as I saw that,
you know what? It doesn't matter. He's literally sold all his shares to WWE. So literally, he took his money and ran. So that's where we're at on that. I mean, I mentioned last week, if he ends up starting another company, what is he going to do? He's going to bring Johnny with him. Is he going to bring his good old friend Kevin Dunn with him? Is he going to bring all the people who WWE pretty much released? I don't know, dude. It's like I don't see him wanting to do this again, but if he does, it wouldn't be what WWE is now. And Triple H is taking it to another level. What is he going to be? A literal not WCW. Oh my God, I can't even think of the name of it. USWA.
Oh God, we're getting John Lennon.
Yes, I went there. USWA. Him and Jerry Lawler will actually be friends now again.
So we'll have Johnny. We'll have
Segway.
We'll have Johnny.
Hold on. You got to say that one was good. Segway, by the way.
It was. But we'll have Johnny. We'll have Vince. We'll have Kevin Dunn. We'll have Jerry Lawler. We'll have all the WWF talents from the 90s. Oh, my goodness. But speaking of Jerry Lawler, you got me cracking up. I love you, man. So we go to Jerry Lawler now. A nice segue, USWA, son of a bitch. So Jerry Lawler, thank you, from PW Insider reports, Jerry Lawler's no longer with WWE as the company quietly declined to renew his contract, thus ending a relationship between the two that began back in late 1992. Under previous ownership, Lawler would have always been taken care of and connected with the company in some ways contractually, but this is a new era. The old company is dead. Well, what the hell are they going to have Jerry Lawler do? I mean, and I love Jerry Lawler, but like,
he's done pre-show stuff. That's basically where they had him at.
Right.
I mean, the extent of this contract or the contract that he actually had previously, it was him throwing him on the pre-show, throwing him in. That was it. That's all they had him on. They didn't even take him to Make-A-Wish Foundation because ain't nobody want to see him. Ain't nobody want to make a wish to see Jerry Lawler.
That's horrible.
I'm sorry. You know what? That was probably bad, but you know what? It's essentially true. Yes. You could laugh. You could laugh. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody trying to make a wish to see Jerry Lawler. And ain't nobody trying to make a wish to see Drew Gulak.
Oh, shit. That's so true. But
Welcome to a Monday night, by the way. This is I am the dead man of RWT. That, of course, over there is Mr. Michael Larkin. Of
oh
course,
my
we
goodness,
are.
the weekly
Uh,
review, baby.
anyways, weekly review.
Oh,
Welcome.
yeah, but yeah, no. And I mean, he's done so much with that company for over 30 plus years. Like Jerry, like again, and I hate to say it, but no, they got a new era. They got Punk. All right, we'll do this. Well, I will segue to this since you want to talk about pre-shows. Where I'm going to segue the segue, if you will. So CM Punk was on the pre-show with Jackie Redmond and Biggie.
Is
And
he still there? No, he did a promo tonight, so they actually let him out. Sorry, go
all right,
ahead.
we'll get to the. I was going to get to that too. Hold on.
Oh,
So
sorry, I hit your punchline before you did. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
in the grill. Fool.
I'll go back.
All right.
Take 2.
So CM Punk was on the kickoff with Jackie Redmond and Biggie, and Biggie was talking about, Tanga and his brother Tonga Loa, the Gorillas of Destiny, and Punk was like friggin' the old friggin' Scooby-Doo. He's like, wait a minute, we could talk about New Japan here. I'm sorry, I had flashbacks to 10 years ago, and Biggie's like, yeah, we could talk about that. If I get yelled at, whatever, it's a new era. Like, I thought that was great because Punk was still in the mindset of like 2014 and how, oh my God, we could say New Japan. So I thought that was funny.
We could talk about other companies here.
We can talk about other companies now. What? And CM Punk in the headquarters. Yeah. We have Punk in the headquarters going around, like taking pictures. Roxanne Trick Williams just walking around, say, hey, I'm trapped here, which I thought was hilarious. And the best part about it, he posted to his Instagram story the original card of what WrestleMania 30 was going to be, which is the one that he was supposed to be on with Triple H. And he quit, of course, mere 10 years ago. What were your thoughts on Punk in the headquarters, man?
Man, if I wish he just put that not necessarily on his IG story. I really, really, really wish he just would have put that on his Instagram, because as a post, that would have been hilarious to continue to keep watching over and over and over. Now, mind you, people actually already video recorded it, so I mean it's out there already. So I beg you guys to go watch it. He went up. He was walking all the way around the headquarters. He called it Titan Towers or Titan Towers 2.0, and he goes, I don't know, what are we at in WWE headquarters? I mean, I don't even know what to call it anymore. He goes, but we're here. He goes, and I'm just over here walking around. And he goes, I think I'll go exercise. I think I'll hit the gym for a while. So he went to go hit the gym, and he goes, there's still some food in here. Why don't I go to catering and go get something to eat, and he was literally in there for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And on his Instagram story, and nobody went in there to go check on him. Crazy.
Now, I have to say this, as he put that WrestleMania 30 card up, which I died because of the history. And if you know, you know. How awful would that WrestleMania would have been if we would have gotten the matches that were on that, like Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose for the U.S. title. Fucking
we had Daniel Bryan and Sheamus for the World Heavyweight title, and they were the opening match. Yeah, but that was in 2012, but he knocked them the hell out. So why not run it back again? That's a good old Vince thing. Why don't we run it back again? And let's go try this again.
Fucking Big Show versus Kane was on that card. Like, oh my God.
That would have been a banger.
Of course. Fucking, but yeah.
It was burger after burger after burger after burger.
But that's the thing, man. Like, it was great to see that. It was fun. It was just Punk being Punk, and I really enjoyed those 24 hours that he was at the headquarters. And here's something else that we can enjoy: HB Shizzle in the Hizzle Fo Shizzle, baby. So Shawn Michaels has reacted to the reference to Sweet Chin Music and Kendrick Lamar's recent diss track against Drake. The Heartbreak Kid has invited the two to settle their differences in NXT. And as you can see in this photo, Shawn Michaels wrote back, a little Sweet Chin Music goes a long way. Kendrick Lamar, you and Drake are formally invited to NXT to settle this thing. I'm even offering my services to mediate. Let's go, Shawn Michaels.
Let's fucking go. Damn it, fucking old man, fucking Shawn Michaels. Dude, I fucking love this. And the fact that he tagged both Kendrick and Drake, that was just awesome. if you've been living under a rock over the last, I don't know, 72 hours, I would say, since Friday. If you've been living under a rock, I beg you to go on YouTube and listen to every single one of these damn diss tracks. I'm sorry. If Kendrick whooped this dude's just mollywopped, I will use that word again, mollywopped Drake all over the place. And I don't care if didn't he didn't he didn't touch on a lot of the subjects that um he should have touched on in his rebuke, whatever you want to call it, back to Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
But there are too many allegations out there for him to not say that he didn't, he wasn't a pedo. But just the fact that Kendrick had him all week, dude, banger after banger after banger, not burger, but banger after banger after banger. That last one got that West Coast feel. You know what I'm saying? What?
I feel you. Like, if you've not checked out Kendrick and Drake, the diss tracks, fucking Kendrick was like, fuck you, bitch. And every single one of those diss tracks went hard. It went right for the jugular, and it was awesome. The vibes. All I'm saying is, y'all got to check it out.
Oh, man. Yeah, go back and check it out. And someone else that checked out, segue.
Alrighty. So
and someone that checked out and is checking back in, or is checking in. Actually, I think he was already there. Take that back. He was already there, but now he is promoted now. So, segue.
So, WWE's Chris Legentil, who has been handling WWE's communication since April 2021, has received a promotion. He is now the Senior Vice President, Head of Global Communications, and is now officially titled Executive Vice President, Talent Relations, and Head of Communications. So, congratulations, Chris.
Yeah, and this was one of the main reasons why they got rid of the last guy was because they didn't have a lot of faith in him, to re-sign, to negotiate the re-signings of a lot of the people who actually have re-signed. One Seth Rollins, one Drew McIntyre, one I don't know who else re-signed.
There was a lot of them, like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch,
Lynch, yeah. So the people that they needed to re-sign are actually the ones that actually re-signed. So the kudos to them. Oh, Finn Balor.
Yes.
Finn Balor was another one that re-signed. So we got all that and so much more. And, only the journey begins and the journey lates. And this journey had to start over again. So segue again.
True. Again, and what I love about this is too, like, we're hitting up with all the news and notes, and what I think about it too is as well, there's a lot of progression in wrestling. There's a lot of everything moving forward from things that were negative, and we're turning more into a positive, and more people being around the right surroundings, and really a positive direction for professional wrestling as a whole. And speaking of positive direction here, we'll segue the segue, Mr. Paul Morales. Our girl Wendy Chu, the foreign Karen Q on the independent scene, she opens up about her journey to get back in the ring. We recently saw a photo of her wrestling at one of the tapings for NXT. And first of all, look at this woman. This woman is, woo, my goodness gracious. She looks fabulous in this lovely photo here.
And she hit the gym. She hit the gym, though. She hit the gym, though.
Whew. And we have a little excerpt of what she wrote. After tearing my ACL and MCL, my dog being severely sick, and blindly eating my way through the holidays, you could say that my weight management was the last thing on my mind. But after I stopped feeling sorry for myself, got some guidance, and started to have some discipline and determination, I was able to dig myself out of a big hole during one of the worst periods of my life. For the past 4 months, I've worked extremely hard to get into the best shape I possibly could. I can't believe that I lost over 20 pounds and have set new personal records that I haven't hit since my WWE tryout in 2017. I'm still too embarrassed to show my before picture, but I'm at least confident enough to show my now picture. And she gave thanks to many people that she's worked with for helping be the best version of herself. Never would I ever thought I'd be able to get this far. My mind and body feels great, and I exceeded my own expectations. I don't want to sound too corny, but you truly can do anything if you set your mind to it. Happy to say that I'm finally cleared for in-ring action. Let's go. Let's bring Wendy Chu back up in this bitch, and congratulations and much love to Wendy Chu. The grind never stops.
Yes, I'm ready for that women's North American title to be around this woman's waist, because This woman has busted her ass to get to where she is now, and I would love to see her just perform her ass off in the ring. So, you know, congratulations, Wendy. Glad you're back. Glad you healed properly from the ACL and the MCL. Girl, I know how tough that is, and I know how much that hurts, but hey, you're back. The 20 pounds is a difference. I mean, may not mentally and, emotionally. I would love to see the before picture because, you as someone who started a journey from where I used to be to where I am now to this lean mean, I don't know, not necessarily lean, but to where I am right now, I'm almost 200 pounds lighter than what I was prior to my surgery, and I'm here, I'm alive, I'm extending my life, to be with my family. So kudos to you, especially on your recovery, and you're here, you're in the now. Give that woman some props, man. Give her some flowers for being back.
I would give her more than flowers. I would give her the
Yeah,
biggest
that's
of
not what
hugs.
I'm
Not like that. You take your mind out of the gutter, sir. I'm being nice. I would give her the. I would give her some hugs and some love in that form. I'm not going that.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I see where you were going there, Mr. Palmer Ellis, and I'm looking at you, sir. So, anyway, the love and everything and the admiration for Wendy Chu aside, we have went through a lot of the news topics this week, but I figure we got to close it again because they're at it again. AEW. Well, they wanted to follow up, and obviously what AEW is going to be this Wednesday, and we'll see the follow up from this. More of the Double or Nothing card has been announced. We have Willow Nightingale against Mercedes Moné for the AEW TBS Championship. We have Timeless Tony Storm now against Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship. Roderick Strong and Will Ospreay for the International Championship. And, well, we found out who Swerve Strickland's opponent's going to be for the AEW World Championship. We found it out in Winnipeg, a fellow Canadian, Christian Cage. Your thoughts?
You see the joy on my face.
I mean, he's a hot heel, but I'm like,
I got it. I get it. You're something Bully Ray, and again, back to something I busted open. Of course, I love Busted Open. I love the boys at Busted Open and the women at Busted Open, but specifically Bully Ray and Mark Henry actually talking about specifically on how to get to where you're going. They were talking about Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles being just kind of like, the first match post winning the title. But it's usually the kind of the lull before you kind of start that incline to get to the next person. So if Christian Cage is kind of like that first step, then cool, great. And I'm not taking anything away from Christian because I think Christian will go out there and have a great match with him. We know how professional Christian is, so nothing against him like that. I just think that that's not necessarily, if you're trying to up somebody who is a champion, why not try and get him up in that picture against more established wrestlers that are in AEW, that are originals of AEW? That would help him out too. At least that's in my opinion. I think so. But hey, if Christian's who you want to roll with, then that's who you're going to roll with. Christian's probably going to tell me to fuck you, but I don't give a damn.
Yeah, but the thing too is it's a veteran for him to beat, and apparently they have history because I totally forgot that they had a match where they teamed together. I mean, what pay per view was that? I don't even fucking remember, to be completely honest. Do you recall or no?
Hell in a Cell? I don't know.
Hell in a Cell. I totally forgot what pay per view it is. Whatever it is, somebody can comment in the comments below, or I'll put a little graphic of what the fuck it was. But the fact of the matter is, they also followed up with the fact of what he did to Nick Wayne, his quote unquote son. So, all right, there's some story to that, but I look at it like this, and speaking of Nick Wayne on the side of that, friggin' Darby Allin, and the reason why I bring this up because of who he was teaming with when he got beat down. Darby Allin, get your ass out of the way. Motherfucker got hit by a bus. What the actual hell, man? You're freaking injuring your leg and everything and whatnot, and you're injuring your body parts, and y'all got hit by a bus? Not even going under the bus. The man got hit by a bus. What the fuck?
Exactly. I don't know. It was yeah.
get out the way of the bus, man. That's not even the Magic School Bus. I'm saying get out the way of the bus. It could be the Double Dutch bus, for God's sake. Holy hell. But anyway.
Double Dutch bus coming down the street, moving very fast. So why don't you shuffle your feet?
Ooh, the Double Dutch bus. Okay, so buses aside, Shane Strickland, Christian Cage, main event of Double or Nothing. Another thing out of last week's episode, which Chris Jericho and the 20-minute chop fest with Katsuyori Shibata. Katsuyori Shibata just getting hit with the kendo stick with a garbage can over his head, and he's headbutting Chris Jericho in the corner. Then Big Bill's ass comes out and chokeslams Shibata, and Jericho retains. That match was the drizzling shits. Can Chris Jericho just go away? I am at X-Pac heat now with Chris Jericho. Can he just go away? Like, he has the go-away heat with me now. I don't give a rat's ass about the learning tree. That match was horrible. I hated it. I hate all of this with a passion. Did I mention that I hate it? Chris Jericho and Shibata. You saw this, drizzling shits, this, debauchery at its finest, right?
I've had diarrhea that kind of felt a little bit better than I felt about this freaking match, or the fact that they're going to fight each other. Yeah, I said it. I know that's probably the most grossest thing I probably said. Oh, by the way, Christian Cage and Swerve actually faced Darby and Sting at All In last year in London.
Okay, well, thank you. I totally forgot about that. And I don't mean
bring it back. Anyways, that dude, I'm so over anything Chris Jericho right now. I mean, now he's the leaning tower of pizza. I don't know, whatever the hell he is now.
And you bring Big Bill with him again, like we mentioned, makes no fucking sense, like at all. He was just the World Tag Team Champion, but I could learn from you, Chris.
I know he's the Deco Tree. I don't know. He's something from.
Well, here's my thing: if you could have a throwback, like Big Bill, one of your first feuds when you started up on the main roster was me and Kevin Owens against you and Enzo Amore. But I'm like, you could have brought that up or something. But it's just like, no, I want to learn from you, Chris. And it's like, whatever. Like last week's AEW.
You know what? I get it. Ricky Starks is injured. I get it. By the way, no. Breaking news: Ricky Starks is injured.
Yeah,
in case you didn't know, that's the reason why Big Bill is doing that bullshit with Jericho. So, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it's worse than the list that he did in WCW. So I'm kind of over it.
For me, it's like, and I say this, like, we watch all of this, and I look at WWE's product, and I look at AEW's product, and I want to see everybody succeed, but this product is fucking ice cold right now. What's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. Outcast. Hey, Speaker Box. The Love Below. Like, all right. But this product, and then they follow it up from last week. Tony Khan. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Khan. Welcome to AEW Dynamite, and I'm here remotely in Jacksonville running this show. And, with everything that's going on and the well wishes and the prayers in my neck brace, I'm going to be recording and doing this show remotely from Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, guys, I'm Tony Khan. Like, he does that, and then the signal gets interrupted, and then the Young Bucks are like,
"Hey, how you doing? How are you? Hey, I'm doing this remotely now.
I'm okay, yeah, my neck's okay, but thank you,
guys.
Hold
on, I'm doing it remotely now. I'm sorry for the drug reference, but hey, dude, when your eyes are so bugged out like that, dude, people question stuff. People make fun of you. I mean, it's just like, hey, look at where I'm at. I'm over here, and again, back to something somebody else said, dude. We were watching Pat McAfee, and dude, don't turn your head. If you're wearing a fucking neck brace, don't turn your head as if it's not injured. Sell the freaking injury. And I mean, you can't even sell a punch to the stomach, but whatever.
But yeah, so the signal gets.
Look, and okay, I'm a critic. I really am. I am a critic. I mean, I love the wrestling. This is nothing against the damn wrestling, except for anything Chris Jericho. I have nothing against the wrestling in AEW because I love it. I Full Gear this past year or last year, Forum in Inglewood. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Hell, I popped for a bunch of matches. great. Very few storylines. That's my issue. That's my only issue.
We
If
we say it every
if there
goddamn
were
week.
more consistency with the storylines, consistency, not necessarily just you just throw whatever the hell you want together. Chris Jericho, Tony Khan throwing Chris Jericho into matches. Why is Big Bill there, dude? You had where the hell is Sammy Guevara? Where the hell is Sammy Guevara?
He
I mean, aside from
suspended.
taking
Remember
care of
they
his kid
suspended
and
him. They
taking care
suspended him.
of fucking of his wife, I mean,
Bro, they suspended him. They suspended him
I,
for the Jeff
I
Hardy match.
I know that. I'm just, dude. I'm just being stupid. I mean, they could do something else with Chris Jericho. I mean, this is probably the most. This is the worst character of Jericho's career. I mean, and I'm hands down the worst. I don't know what the hell this is. You might as well roll out there in a wheelchair like freaking uh, Adam, like Roddy. You might as well just do that and just say, "Hey, look, I'm good." Just be a manager. Just be done with the in ring stuff. Be a manager.
I mean, the only
I'm
real big.
sorry.
No, you're fine, dude. It's
I'm
okay. I
done.
love.
Done. Fuck Jericho. Fuck Chris Jericho. Look, I'm just gonna make that a clip, and I'm gonna be like, man, fuck
Chris
Jericho.
Jericho.
Fuck Chris Jericho.
But that's the
I'm gonna
thing.
tag everybody in, and I'm gonna tag Denise. I'm gonna tag Alex. I'm gonna tag Kate.
Everybody.
I'm gonna tag SRS.
Fuck
I'm gonna
Chris.
tag everybody. I'm gonna be like, man, fuck
Fuck
Chris
Chris
Jericho.
Jericho.
I'm gonna put Chris Jericho on there too. I'm gonna be like, man, fuck Chris Jericho.
Fuck
Oh,
Chris.
anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, we
You're
were.
fine, man. You're fine. No, it's like this last AEW was kind of uneventful. I mean, we mentioned the matches that were announced. We mentioned the horribleness that was Jericho and Shibata and his character. We mentioned Tony Khan's bugged out eyes. But the thing that came out of it was the Young Bucks interrupted the signal, and they're like, "Bitch, we're not going to get fired. Ironclad contracts, and that means we run the show." And they did the new open for AEW Dynamite with Okada and all of them. All right. And then we get to the main event of Kenny Omega makes his return, cuts a very heartfelt passion promo about diverticulitis and wanting to come back. My body was shaking, but I'm here. I'm ready to get back. But one punch to the gut, and they said it's done for me. But he's just happy to be alive. He's happy to be here. Then Okada comes out, and then he's like, I'm the best bout machine now. And then here comes Jungle Boy's small ass with a chair, shot to the gut. Kenny was down, but then the Young Bucks did exactly what they did the previous week. And we're like, yo, that's one of our best friends. What are you doing? God. And then they lift him up, BTE trigger. They beat him up. It goes into Rampage when Kenny Omega is getting, stretchered out. He's going into the friggin' ambulance. And then they come back and they friggin' knock over the friggin' stretcher and the gurney and everything he's on with Kenny Omega. They beat him up some more going into the open of Rampage. I don't care. And then FTR made the save, of course, for Kenny Omega, which makes no fucking sense because here's the logic again. FTR and Kenny Omega are not boys. Chris Jericho and him were boys before he had the diverticulitis. They were a tag team, but Jericho's doing his learning tree bullshit. If they wouldn't have fucked up CM Punk would have been great in this, but they had to be petty ass children. But
Hangman Adam Page would be good in this.
Hangman Adam Page because they were boys, but fucking FTR comes out and whatever. Yeah, just whatever. What were your thoughts on that segment?
It was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like it didn't get me hyped for anything. I mean, I get it. Kenny's going to eventually come back. I mean, he's going to eventually be the bout machine again, but I'm glad he's recovering. I'm glad he'll be back soon. He told Okada 2 months, I'll be back. But you're beating him up when he's already out. It just kind of makes it. I get it. It's kind of like telling a story to where you're going to kind of continue the story, but it just, to me, it was
just whatever.
Yeah, I want to say, I really, really, really want to say it's about a year too late.
Yeah, agreed.
Because if they had their opportunity to turn on Kenny a while back, why now?
Yeah, when it was the friggin' iron was hot, man. You could have struck where lightning was hot, man. Fuck.
And they didn't do it. I mean, that's when it should have happened. It should have happened last year, but it didn't, and here we are again,
Well,
back to something Vince would have done. But
well, here we are
I don't
because
want to mention him anymore.
no,
So,
I know, I hear you, but here we are back again where we started, and we have more to come. And I hope you enjoyed this edition of the weekly review because we went through the news, we gave you our thoughts. It was a good week of wrestling. It was a fakakated week in wrestling from the releases and everything that went on from Drew Gulak's bullying ass for Ronda Rousey's dumb ass. And for AEW with no continuity and Chris Jericho, go fuck yourself and get off my television screen. Fuck you, Chris Jericho. To quote this one over here, man, fuck Chris Jericho.
man, fuck Chris Jericho.
Fuck Chris Jericho. But
I do have one other thing. Of course, NXT actually announced that the NXT North American Women's title will actually be held in a ladder match. They're doing matches to see who could qualify for it. So there's that. Wesley is back. Wesley is back. The fact that man is back this week, tomorrow night, he has his very first match in what, 7-8 months from back surgery, post back surgery. You know, I'm congratulations, young man. I'm glad you're back. What was the other thing? Oh, Natalia got her ass kicked, got her ass knocked out by Lola Vice. Yes. Man, that was brutal. Right, but that was a great match on spring break, man. That was night 2 spring break, man. That was just awesome. Run it back, man. If you ever get a chance to go back and go see both nights, man, go see both nights, man. If you ever get a chance, man, because that was just
let's talk
fire.
Let's talk about this briefly because I'm glad you mentioned this. All right, before we close out, let's do this because Natalia and Lola Vice, Natalia with Katrina Petrovic, and you had Shayna with Lola Vice. Like the match was awesome. Like the knockout at the end, Shayna getting involved, taking out Katrina Petrovic. Like I love the fact that we had Natalia, who is a badass with the Heart Dungeon, and Lola Vice, the MMA fighter. Hell of a main event. I like you mentioned, Wesley and the tease of maybe Obafemi, Wesley, Josh Briggs, fucking Ivar up in the mix, a fatal 4-way there. I like the fact that, that new tag team that debuted against the OC, they look good. They look very strong. That whole entire show was really good. Thea Hale and JC Jane. Everybody just went out.
I can't wait for Thea Hale to whoop that girl's ass.
Whoop that girl's ass.
I can't wait for her to get her hands on JC. I'm sorry, that's gonna be awesome. That little girl's a firecracker. I love her. I love Thea. Thea Hale. What's up, girl?
And the Fallon Henley heel turn, which was
that was the other thing. She said she's gonna get her hands on her too.
Like, I'm loving this. Like, and we've said this many a times, NXT's going to Las Vegas for Battleground. What they're doing with Sean's product and vision, if you just don't watch it, you're sleeping on it. Don't sleep on it because it's a great product, and I cannot wait for this coming week's NXT tomorrow night as we're recording. But, yeah, we'll have more to talk about within the week, and thank you guys for listening.
We've also got Chelsea Green versus Roxanne Perez, too. That was the other one that's coming up, too.
Did you hear the rumor, by the way? Because Roxanne and Chelsea Green, thank you for bringing that in. It's all coming back to me now. That's going to be really good tomorrow. But the rumor is, because we saw the little interaction, and they were briefly in there, like swimwear during the pandemic era, there's talk of bringing Chelsea Green back to NXT for a little bit and having Mr. Stone as her manager.
Same thing with Michin.
Mia Yim! Fucking like
Yim. Dude, I'm here for it, dude. Just bring her back down there. Let her retool everything and bring it back, dude. To me, that's the best place for her down there, especially if you got a mid card title running on there. Dude, I'm all for it. You need veterans down there to help out these girls. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, to me, it does.
No, I'm right there with you. The ladder match is a callback to the North American Championship, their first match.
The very first one.
That was the ladder match, and Mia Yim, let's fucking go. I'm going to put it like that, man. Let's go.
Go. All right, man. All right, man. Well, I got to go. Bye. No, I'm just joking.
Well, we are on the way out, but not like Paul with his way out. Thank you all for listening to the weekly review. Paul Morales, where can we follow you on social media? Thank you for the laughs and all. As always.
You're welcome, man. You can follow me on TikTok, YouTube, same name. That one right there. It says Dead Man of RWT. You can follow me on there on all the social media efforts. Of course, you can follow me on the RWT Facebook page, which will also be down in the link below. and my Pornhub is closed. Oh, sorry. Michael's isn't. It's very, very active. Anyways, see, sir, floor is yours.
Yes, that sounds like friggin' Essence. I want to see. Oh no, that sounds like a friggin' phone sex commercial in the night. I want to hear your voice. That's what it sounds like. I want to hear your voice. Obsession. So you can check me out, SF Show 1MCL92 on the Twitter front. Friggin' Larkin _92, MLarkinMV on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Mike Larkin92, StephenMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com. You can check out the latest edition of Uncaged, which will be out this week with Daniel Crimmins and I as we book the Ultimate WrestleMania card. You can check out the weekly review with Paul and I as well. You can check out Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling with Robert Davis and Nicola. We touched upon Tessa Blanchard, which will be out this week as well. The LFC Podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, The Stephen Mike Show, The Golden Age of Everything, Pop Culture History Podcast, and so much more. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you all for listening. And the links will be in the description below. So is Paul's. For Paul Morales, the RWT Deadman, my name is Mike Larkin. We will see you in the next episode. Man, fuck Chris Jericho.
Man, fuck Chris Jericho. Happy birthday, Allie. Love you.